Hello, and this is Dr. Valerie Bennett, your Scholastic Motivation Robotics Coordinator. And on this video, I will be sharing with you how to build your first robot. And before we get started with that building, I'm just going to tell you a few things about the brick when you get it out of your kit, because once we get into building our first robot, I want your brick to already be charged and ready to go, okay? So here we go. All right, so when your brick comes, it of course will not be charged. It won't have any batteries in it. So this little covering will actually come over it. So it goes like this. You will need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AA batteries, and it kind of goes into the side slot, and then it will push into this side here once you have that in. The great thing about this kit is that you will actually get a rechargeable battery that you can put in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. It slides in the very same way on the side, and then you'll see those two connectors there, and it will pop in like that. So you will turn it on with the middle button, and it's going to start up. Hopefully you are able to see that screen there, but it'll take a minute or so to start up, but it will be charged. Well, I've actually charged this one. So let me show you how to do that. You will get this charger cable, and this is the end that will actually go into your brick. So I have another brick here, oops, there it goes. Another brick here just to show you what it looks like. You would turn it on this end. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and plug in the other end. And you will see actually how this is done. Okay, so this one has not been charged up. So you will see the green and red buttons actually come on. So this means this isn't fully charged, okay? But when it is fully charged, like this one should be, okay, I guess I've been playing with it a little bit today, but when it is fully charged, only the green button will, the green LED actually will be lit, okay? So I just wanted to show you that when you charge it, okay? All right, so a few quick things about the brick when it comes on. So on your screen, you will see, it looks like a little play button here, but that button will actually just show you what programs are on your brick, okay? And they will all have names that you will give it, as I demonstrate on another video, how you will actually name your programs. And then you're going to press this right arrow or right button, and it navigates you through the other screens, okay? So let me go back to this second one. The second one is for folders. So this first one I have on here is just called Move. And the center button is to select. If it's highlighted, it'll select it. And then you can navigate up and down with the top and bottom buttons. Okay, so if I just open that, it'll open up other programs that I have within that folder. Okay, so that's how that one works. And then your third menu, you see it's gone to the next one. I love this one because this actually gives you information about what you have in your different channels. So this one has port view. I don't have anything plugged into my ports. The top ports are I'll switch it around, are A, B, C, D. These are for all of your motors, okay? And then on the other side of your brick, the other ports, these are numbers. These are for all of your sensors, okay? So that's where the sensors will go, okay? And if I had something plugged in, if I were to select the port view here, select here, it will actually show me what's plugged into my ports. There's actually nothing plugged in, so of course it's going to say none. And of course you can navigate over left or right to see what's in your port. So nothing's plugged in, so I expected that not to say anything. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, and I love this button. I'll talk about this one in just a second. But that's for the port view, motor control, IR control, brick program. Okay, then I'm going to go over to settings. And this is a great one too. It has a volume when it'll actually go to sleep on the screen to kind of save your battery, Bluetooth connection, Wi-Fi, and brick info. So of course you can select and go into those particular menu when you have it. So it's kind of giving a weird message right now because I haven't connected anything to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so this will take me back. Okay, all right, so that's just a little information about the brick, okay, to kind of get you started. Over here, I'll just turn this over here, is where you can connect your USB cable that'll come that you can connect directly to your computer for downloading your programs, okay? You can also use an SD card as well, it has that capability. And on the other side, this is your speaker, okay? Has your speaker there. All right, so let's get started to building our first robot. Okay, so getting started to build your first robot, you will open up your Lego Mindstorms, and this will be the screen you'll get to first. We're in our lobby, and we will click on the, we've already talked about start here, new project, tutorials. We're going to go right down to building instructions. I'll kind of scroll it here. So we're going to go to building instructions, okay? And we're going to click on building ideas, and we're going to build our driving base. Now this is a great foundational robot to start with, and it gives you every single step of what to do. So I'm going to click into driving base, and this gives a picture of what the final product will actually look like, okay? So let's go ahead and open that for us. It'll take a second. And here we go. So this will be the final product, as we said before, and this tells you the number of steps. Now, okay, I know it looks intimidating. It says 46 steps, but many of those steps are simply telling you to rotate the motor a certain way or to move one particular part. So it's actually not very intimidating at all. So I want to show you this tray that has all of the parts for your driving base. So there are wheels, our connector cables, our motors, and look, these are just all the parts. Look at that. That's not a lot at all. Isn't that wonderful? So just to let you know, it says the 46 steps, but it's really not a lot of things you really have to deal with, okay? So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next step. So it says to take one of your motors, which is here, one of your motors here, and one of your blue connector parts rather, okay? And it tells you exactly how to put it in. And what you really have to make sure is that you rotate the part in the same orientation that the picture tells you. So it's saying to rotate it that way, and I'm going to put this blue piece into this front hole here. There you go. Okay, step 2 is done. Now we're on to the next part. So I'm going to take that piece, which is this one, and the 1X means that you only need one piece, okay? So you just need it one time. Essentially, that's what that means. I'm going to rotate this over, and it says to connect it in that way here. Okay, so I'm pushing that through, and that's the next step. Okay, going on to the next step here. All right, so I need one of these little shafts here. Okay, it's black here, and then this red connector here, here, and one of the blue pieces. Now this one, I'll just bring that a little bit closer. Okay, so that's the piece that you need here. Okay, and it says to connect the red part here to the black shaft. It goes in like that, and it tells you where to put it. And it says here, I'm going to slide it through, and you may have to rotate this little shaft a little bit to get it all the way across, just like it says in the picture. Okay, so there we go with that one. And the blue connector piece should go on the very end here. Okay, so again, after every step, just making sure it looks like what it has on the instructions. Okay. All right, so here's the next step here. I need one of these. Okay, it's a short one there, and a blue one of these. Okay, and it tells me where to put it. Let's see, let me follow those steps here. Okay, here we go. The black piece should go here. Uh-oh, it skips one hole. And then the other one should go here. Oh, instructions, it says I need 2 of these. There's the second one. All right. So I need 2 of these. All right. Put it here. There. And the second one goes in the same way. There. Here we go. All right, next step. I think we're ready. All right, now, step 5, it says I need 2 of these black ones, the short ones here. And I need one of the, I call this the L. Okay, there we go. So those are the next pieces for step 5. And let's see how we connect these. So we have to have the L go this way across those 3 pieces actually. And then we put the black one here, top and bottom. Okay, so it goes like this. So this is getting us really set up to take care of our shaft or our motor. Okay, that's step 5. Okay, so here we go at step 6, and we need one of these long shafts. Okay, so keep in mind they have 2 of them that you're going to see in your instructions. One is going to be a long and short one, but for this one, this is the long one that they're asking for this one. And let's see, let me get the orientation correct here. And it's going to slide, I would say, on the back side of the motor, on the inside of the motor. Okay, I'm going to slide that through like that. Okay, going on to the next step. All right, step 7, I need, I'll call it the 3-hole. And that is right here. You need one of those. Okay, and it says to place this over the shaft and onto those 2 black pieces that we inserted before. So there we go. Step 8, I need one of the blue, and I would say it's kind of the angle piece. It's a white piece that came in my kit. And now this is when I need one of the shorter ones. All right, so let's see where this will go. I need this here. Take the white piece here, and I'm going to, again, making sure my orientation is how it should be. And so I'm going to put it on that back side here. And then I'm going to put this shorter shaft here through the back side, so it should come through the front. Okay, so it's like this. All right, next step. All right, now I have this kind of square or rectangular bracketed piece. It's like self-contained here. And I need 2 of the black short pieces here. Okay, so that's what it's asking for in step 9. There we go. And let's see. This will go one on the outside here and one looks like on the inside. No, not on the inside. Both of them go on the outside, just like that. Okay, there we go. All right, next step. And I'm going to need 2 of my small connectors here. Okay, 2 of the small ones. All right, and then these go on the top corners, I would say. Snap in. Make sure that part is sticking up. Okay, it shouldn't slide out because if you put it on the wrong side, it's going to be very loose. And you don't want that. You want to shift it over so that it actually snaps in. Okay, next step. All right, we're going to need 2 of these pieces here. Okay, 2 of those. All right, and these are going to go onto the top, just like this. Like that, boom, and here. Okay, so that's how that goes. Next step. Now, this one, it says to rotate. Let's see, I think there's a piece I didn't put on yet. Let me go back here. Okay, I didn't connect my white part here. All right, so let me go ahead and connect that. This actually goes here. So I had not connected this yet. Go ahead and do that. And then I can put my little bracketed piece on. There we go. See, I missed a part. Okay, so let me go ahead, and it says to rotate it like this, and I'm going to place this like so. Okay, so these 2 blue pieces here, there we go. So that's where that goes there. All right, next step. All right, I'm going to need 1 of my short gray shafts here. Okay. All right, and that's going to go into my red connector that I already placed on the top. Okay, next step, I'm going to need another motor and one of the short blue ones. So here's my second motor, and I have my longer kind of blue connector here. And let me turn it in the orientation that it has in the picture, and you're going to connect it on that front hole like that. All right, next step. All right, so let me get my connector here. I need this part. I need 2 of the blue long connectors here, and I need 1 of the short connectors and 1 of the short black connectors. Okay, so that's in step 15. We're in step 15 already. Okay, so let me go ahead and connect it as it says. It's kind of almost like the reverse of what we just produced here. So that's here. And then I need 2 blue ones here. And then 1 on the corner here. And the very last piece, the very last piece for this one, let me turn it the correct way. Here we go. And this one goes at the bottom. There we go. There we go. All right, step 16. All right, we're going to need 1 of the short black shafts and the red connectors here. I'm calling everything connector because it all connects together. So there we go. And let me go ahead and assemble it as it says there. Okay, got some glue on here. Okay, and I'm going to place this here. So let me go ahead and place this on the motor. Okay, and then I'm going to place the other There we go. This through on this side. Okay, there we go. All right, next step. All right, I'm going to need 2 of the black small connectors and then my L shape like this. And let's go ahead and connect those here. So this is going to come straight down. Remember how we did on the other side? And these 2 black ones are going to go above and below the shaft, where the shaft will go, because we kind of know that's coming next. There we go. All right, next step. Step 18, we have our long, and I call this kind of the stub shaft because it has a stopper on that end. So make sure you're not just getting the shaft without that. Okay, it'll still work actually, but this is much more helpful because it won't go all the way through. So this is going to go through the back side here and connect like that. There we go. All right, next step here. All right, now I need my 3-hole black piece here. And just like it did on the other side, you're going to connect that. It's going to push down. There we go. All right, next step. Step 20. So same thing. It's kind of like, you know, these are very symmetric parts and, you know, just pieces that we put together. So you'll kind of get into the flow. All right, so let's put everything in the right orientation. All right, so this will go on the opposite side. This will go on the opposite side. You got to rotate it. I'm not rotating it. All right, so that will go on the opposite side. And this will connect through this way. There we go. All right, so it should look like this. And on to step 21. So now we're going to have, oh, I didn't do it again. Let me put this blue part on. Okay. Now we can put the whole piece of the puzzle together. Okay, just need to align this a little bit better and it'll go in. There we go. Okay. All right, now we have our 2 motors here, so you kind of see what's going to be happening here. We're going to connect this right here. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure it's looking symmetric, and it should be able to slide in very nicely like that. Okay, there you go. Okay, step 22. Now we have another kind of H bracketed piece, and as you see in the instructions, it says to flip it upside down. That's what that little blue little rotation does for you. And we're going to connect it there. It doesn't really, it's kind of hard to see that part, so let me push it here. You're literally going to take this and slide it in between these spaces that you have for your connectors. Easy. All right. Now we're going to need 4 of these red, I'll call them stubbed connectors here. Okay, you see how they kind of have a little lip on those. And these will go right on the ends. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this would be great to have. Of course, I would highly recommend the mentors do them themselves, or you can have the kids just jump in and do those. But it's kind of fun to do it so you can have experience and help them out, right? If they may have trouble with some of the instructions. Okay, step 24. Okay, so this is the roller ball support on the end. All right, and it starts with one of the red short L's. one short shaft, and looks like I have one more blue shaft. Okay, those are 3 parts. And let me turn my red, I'm going to move this over. My red L, and then I have, and make sure it's the red L, the short L, and you should have the little cross on the end there. Okay, so I'm going to put that in, and then put my blue connector there. Okay, not in the corner, right next to the corner. Okay, all right, and then I'm going to take one of these. It's kind of a corner connector, and it says, okay, put it in this way. So in the holes that don't have those other 2 parts that I just connected, there we go. All right, step 26. Okay, now this one is actually already put together. It may have an empty little connector here, and then you just push the ball in. Okay, but mine was already in for whatever reason. But it goes like this. But it does say take another of the short L connectors here, and we're going to, let's see, make sure I orient everything the correct way. It's like this. This goes through here, and this will connect it safely on the other side. There you go. Cool. All right. Step 28. Okay, I'm going to take another one of my corner connectors, and as you see, it connects just like that. All right. Step 29. All right, I'm going to need 2 of okay, I'm going to need 2 of these. All right, so for step 29, I'm going to need 2 of these black short connectors here, and then I'm going to have 2 of the black short pieces there, and then 4 of these. Sometimes I call these my little blue stubs. I don't know, I just gave it that name, but I need 4 of those. All right, so these are going to go onto this rollerball support, and we're going to, and it has 2x, so that means we're going to do this 2 times. So I'm going to connect that right there, and then take my second one. Oh, and this goes in the middle here. Almost forgot that piece. And, uh-oh, that came out. Push that in a little bit harder there. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Do my blue connectors. All right. All right, and here is how I connect that to here. So the blue pieces will go down. So make sure the little black stub goes to, I call it to the back. Okay, it comes out. And so all of those should be on the same side. Okay. So along with the gray pieces here, the little black stubs, they should be facing out. Okay, so now we're going to connect it to our motor assembly. And so the ball is facing up, and I have my motor assembly here. So these will just simply push in the back like this. Just have to have everything aligned. Turn it that way. and it goes in like that. It's pretty cool. I love it. Step 32, we're going to need 4 of our black short connectors here, 4 of those, and they're going to go here. So you see that blue, it says to rotate it around, and this will go on the top parts of our motor on this part here. So you see those 3 black holes, but they're going to go on the 2 inner connectors on each side. Okay, so let's do that. All right, we're getting closer and closer. There we go. Okay, for step 33, we're going to need 1 of the 5-hole connectors and 2 of these, I'll call it V shapes, okay? And here is where they're going to go. So those connectors that we just, I'm calling everything connector, but for those pieces that we just had on, so the 5 one will go onto where the middle ones are. So those go in. And these V-shaped ones, they will basically go up and over the back side. So let me put that in, and then I'll show you where it goes. Okay, I'll put that in. Oops, fell over. All right. Okay, so those go on the outer connectors that we did on the back here. Okay. All right, step 34. We're going to need 2 of these short black connectors there, and then they will go right on top of those 2 red V-shaped pieces that we just put in, right there. Step 35. Okay, 35 we already did at the very beginning. It just shows you how to connect your charger, your charged battery, your rechargeable battery, I guess I should say, how you should connect that. And I love using these. And I would suggest, perhaps if you can, purchase additional, maybe 1 or 2 additional ones of these for competition time so that you can have a couple of them charged up and you can just switch them out in between the matches. Okay, so we've already done step 35, done. Now we're going to connect this brick onto our base. Okay, all right, so I'm going to rotate my EV3 in the same direction that it has in the picture, and I'm just going to literally place it onto what we have just done. Okay, so here's our base here, and here are 4 black connectors that are kind of sitting out, and we're just going to place it in here. Okay, make sure I have everything lined up for us. There we go. Okay, so those 2 go into the outside on the back, and make sure it's on the side where we have the numbers here. Those are the sensors. All right, and then on the front part is where the motors are. So that's where the letters will be. Okay, so I'm going to push those into that top one. And again, it's just a matter of aligning. There we go. 36. On to step 37. All right, 37 is when we're going to do some side stabilization and connections here. So let's get that ready. So I'll need 1 of the kind of bracketed pieces here, 1 of the blue, and 1 of the black. Okay, that's what those look like. And let me go ahead and put those in there. All right, the blue will go on the top. The black will go into that 3rd one. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to have everything in the same orientation as it has in the picture. So I'm going to have it like this. All right, so this particular connector will go like this. Remember those other pieces we had from before? This is where it all comes together. There we go. So now we have some structural pieces there to help it, not fall apart. All right, and guess what? We're going to put on our first tire. Okay, we already have our shaft ready to go. The wheel, it typically have this already connected, but the rubber will just come off here of the hub, and you can just put it on there. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on there, get it all aligned there with the hub, and I'm just going to push it right on. There we go. And if that inner shaft kind of comes in, just push it back through. Okay, there you go, on. All right, step 39. Now this is a cool attachment here. This helps to really, the way I use it is it helps me to keep up with the number of rotations that my wheels are actually going through. It's not necessarily needed for functional purposes, but it helps to, when you're trying to do some programming, you can actually see, oh, that was one full rotation. Okay, you can of course use a measuring tape to help with that. It's also a great learning tool for students. But that's really the main purpose of this. It serves really no functional thing, but it's great for a teaching tool. All right, so you added one of those. Step 40. Yes, I'm going to do exact opposite or the same thing for the other side here. I have one of my white connector pieces and then my black and my blue. All right, so I'm going to put everything in the right orientation, and I'm going to feed this blue piece here at the top. I'm going to skip a hole and go to the next one. And let's see. Yes, I can probably figure out where this is going to go. So it's going to go here and connect just basically a mirror image of what I have on the other side. There it goes. And you can probably guess what's next. The next tire. I already have that one connected here. The tread and the hub, and I'm just going to insert on the other side. Here we go. It's starting to look a lot like a robot, right? Okay, there we go. All right, step 42, if you want to do that same thing on the other side. Again, it doesn't really serve a functional purpose, but it's great for keeping up with rotations. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm just going to put that on. All right, there we go. And if you want, you can have these kind of starting in the same location orientation when you start your programming to kind of keep up with the number of rotations. It's just kind of a cool thing to do. All right, step 43, you're ready to connect here. All right, so it says to connect B. I'm going to turn everything in the right orientation. So I'm going to find the B port. These are called the ports. And this will be the B motor here. So it's kind of cool. It's showing you to kind of feed it through. Because what I was going to do was just to put it around. And then you have all this kind of cable that's kind of in the way. So it's kind of nice. And you can use a shorter cable. I think I grabbed maybe the longer one. And then actually connect it to the motor. So now the brain, the brick, can talk to the motor. Okay? And you're going to do the same thing for the C. So B and C, like for your kind of medium motors, because we have another smaller motor and then we have a larger motor. And that will be your A and D. Okay? It's good for arms or any type of other rotation things you want to do. And so let me go ahead and connect port C to the other side. Okay? And there we have it. We have built our robot, okay? 45 minutes, less than an hour for sure, right? That you can build your first robot, all right? And now we can go ahead and cut it on. Okay, you have to hold it down. And then you can look at our other instructional videos for doing some programming, okay? All right. Have a great day.